thought they were?
We are what they thought they were.
Yes.
You want to crown their ass? Crown their ass.
Now you can crown their ass because they actually showed up.
They did.
And I didn't expect.
They just boat raced Oregon from the jump.
I didn't expect Oregon to win it, but I expected Oregon to. That 32-31 fight that we had mid-season.
Yeah, they beat them. Good for them. But
Ohio State smoked them.
Yeah,
smoked them.
I liked Ohio State, but I thought it was probably a 3 to 6 point game somewhere along the line. I did not expect the blowout. So I'll take the win, but I just didn't expect the blowout. I would have taken the reverse line and taken Ohio State minus like 9.5 or 10 if I knew it was going to be like that. But
no, I expected Ohio State to come out and
guns blazing.
Show
they did, guns blazing. So now they get to go on and play the Texas Longhorns, who survived. I don't know if I can find a better word. Because they didn't beat Arizona State, they survived Arizona State. And I give all the credit in the world to a plucky Sun Devil forks-up team. Texas is very lucky to be in this position in the semifinals. What do you think?
I think Arizona State got screwed, as we've talked about that.
Yep.
What is the definition of targeting? Targeting is the definition of targeting, and hindsight's 2020. Scadaboo is that dude.
His ass off.
Scadaboo is that dude. Now,
he finished 5th in the Heisman, and nobody knows who the hell he is, unless you're a real college football fan. And we've talked about him on the show.
You pay attention.
But he is legit. He is a hustling, scrappy. He reminds me a lot of Christian McCaffrey. Maybe lacking a little bit of the talent he does.
I had many mentions of he's very Blake Corum-esque.
Okay, I can see that.
He's 5'9", 200 pounds. He's solid. He's got that quick change of pace. Oh, can he throw a touchdown?
Yeah.
Sure he can.
Do you think he gets... he's got a year left at Arizona State.
He's moving on.
Huh?
I think he moves on. Time to go.
Do you think he gets a shot in the pros?
1,000,000,000%.
Okay. I believe he does.
I
don't know if he comes back or not, but all I know is that it's for a program that was down on their luck. Herman Edwards, when he left there, had that place in shambles. They were in NCAA hell with suspensions and violations, and they've done a great job to turn it around. So now we're sitting here with next week, we have Texas and Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. It's a de facto road game for Ohio State. Yet Ohio State opens up on the early line yesterday at -6. You think that's a fair line?
100%. Texas hasn't shown me that they can absolutely handle somebody.
But is Texas, as good as they are defensively, in basically a home, can they stay within a touchdown with Ohio State? I don't know. I got to do some more handicapping on this game. I'm not ready to make a pick on it. I don't think either of us are. But
for me,
Quinn Ewers just hasn't looked that good.
He's running around. Sark's making bad play calls.
Yeah.
Can Texas run the rock? If they can run the rock, which when they have run the rock, they've been
very
successful.
Yes, you're 100% right.
Hand the ball off. Stop trying to be cutesy.
I think that's a very good word for it. It's cute.
Ohio State.
Assert your dominance. Do what you do best. We know their defensive line
can assert their dominance.
The creme de la creme in the country.
Yes.
But Oregon made Will Howard look like a number 1 pick in the NFL draft, which we know he's not. Oregon just was soft yesterday.
That was just it was an overmatched team. Yeah. Call it rust. Call it rest.
Call what you will. They got boat raced. They had no chance.
Yeah, but Ohio State lost to Michigan, went to play Tennessee.
And they beat up on a good
Tennessee team.
A good defensive team, at least.
But they got that shock value out of their system after losing to Michigan. It's all right. Now who are we? And they had 3 weeks to figure out.
Give a lot of credit to Ryan Day here as a coach.
110%. He tried to show how tough he was.
Yeah.
and got beat doing it. Now he realized, wait, give it to the playmakers.
That's
Give
it.
it to the guys.
And what did they
that
do? And what did we
matter.
talk about, Dave, in the past couple of weeks of how shitty a job they did of getting Jeremiah Smith the football? And what did they do in that game?
Got him the
They
football
came out
immediately.
and got him 3 plays, 74 yards, boom, down the field, Jeremiah Smith touchdown.
Yeah.
And then he gets the ball on big plays. There was no messing around with that. Let your best guy make plays. So as we
True
sit here and
freshman.
record this right now, we're watching, and because I can't see anything, I got to rely on Dave, but I think it's 23-10.
23-10, 4 minutes left.
It looks like Notre Dame's going to advance to play Penn State next week. Now there's look ahead lines and all that garbage, but I don't put any stock in that until the actual number comes out. Who do you give the early advantage to, Notre Dame or Penn State?
I love James Franklin. I love James Franklin up until about 5 to 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
So you're probably in the
I am
8%
taking over.
of minority that actually like James Franklin. Because here Penn State sits in the National Football Playoff semifinals. They've had a great year, and there's still people calling for his head.
Oh, 100%. But they're calling for his head for, like I said, that 7 minutes.
Yeah, he's not a
He's-
great clock manager.
He's the worst. He has to be one of the worst.
Could maybe Raheem Morris of the Falcons be the only one worse than him? And we'll talk NFL in a second. But man, what a joke!
Listen, I watched Detroit go 0-16. I dealt with Rod Marinelli. I dealt with enough that for Penn State, sure. But we're not even going to go down
No, I thoroughly agree with you.
clock or cock management of Penn State. We're just going to.
I like the quarterback
Professional.
matchup better for Penn State with Drew Aller than I do with Riley Leonard if it is Notre Dame. But I do like Notre Dame's front seven
That's where I was going to go. It's
to make
just
a
going to be
difference in this game. But we'll see.
the two matchup. I think Notre Dame can lean on them, and I think James Franklin can screw up the clock.
So you have an early lean to Notre Dame.
I have an early lean to Notre Dame.
And we'll talk
And it's-
about that more next week. We're
and
not
it's
making
been-
college
it's
picks,
been-
but
it's been long
just to
enough.
break down. And Penn State looked good against Boise. Came out and they said,
It's
we're not
Boise.
messing around.
Yeah. We all saw what Boise did to Oklahoma years and years ago.
Yeah, that was the Fiesta Bowl with Ian Johnson and
Ew.
all that garbage. And then he proposed to his girlfriend, and oh, we're lovey-dovey. But no, that's not reality. But, credit to Boise, had a great year. Ashton Junti, Heisman Trophy runner-up. They hung around, but Penn State just put their foot down and, beats them by 17. They cover the number.
Penn State's got that front seven too defensively.
Yeah. I just don't know if it's as good as Notre Dame's. But we'll find out next week and more to talk about. with that.
I'll delve into the stats. We'll figure that out.
Let's switch to the NFL. So I got to say on record, I absolutely effing hate Week 18 in the NFL. It's great when there's quality matchups and
You know you can say fuck on this, right?
yeah, but I choose not to. But I may get to that, but we'll see. This year just doesn't hold the quality intrigue in Week 18 as years past. Now, yes, Sunday night we have the big boy, and that's
Yeah.
and I know Dave's drooling to talk about it, as his Lions have a chance to become the number 1 seed in the NFC against the Minnesota Vikings. So I'm going to give the floor to Dave and say right now, Dave, the Vikings are getting 3. There are still a couple 2.5s when I looked at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, but the majority is 3. And the total got steamrolled from an opening line of 52 to now 56.5. That's a huge jump in the total for 2 top-tier NFC teams playing. Does that say more about Detroit's defense or both teams' offense coming off scoring 40 at the Niners? Go ahead.
says-
Take the floor.
It says quite a bit. I'm not here to make a play on this, but I have said many, many things. And we talked about this earlier. Would you rather play for Dan Campbell or Kevin O'Connell? Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year.
Absolutely.
100% Coach of the Year. How the Vikings 6.5 or 14 wins, no idea. Coach of the year.
If you got Kevin O'Connell earlier in the year, you got him plus 475 at Coach of the Year.
Sure.
Great return.
Now, Dan Campbell has his boys ready to play. And has had his boys
and I played
ready
football
to play all year.
I played football, high school, college. I'd run through a wall for Dan Campbell. That's
Dan
how
Campbell
he
could
makes
come
me feel.
order a beer and we would probably run through a wall just
Yeah,
to hear from him.
yeah.
Like,
I think
is
he's that
what
good
it
a
is. Now, the problem for Detroit is the injuries. I'm not hanging my hat on that because Dan has flat out shown me, hey, Buffalo's coming in. So-and-so's coming in. You're down 20.
So go outscore him.
Okay. Now your problem is, and this is where I'm going with your over, I've had multiple Minnesota fans, oh, we can hang 40 on that defense. Your defense sucks.
Go do it.
Get it. Hang 40. Because I think about 8-9 weeks ago, Dan Campbell went to Jared Goff and said, listen, or I'm sorry, 6 weeks ago said, this one's on you.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So now the mentality of the Lions is, well, you can hang 40, we can score 45. You want to beat us? You're going to have to hang 50. So that's where I'm going to go with that. That over is probably a solid bet because it is going to be a track meet.
I hate the fact that it's that high. I didn't get a chance to jump on it at 52. Had I known or been online, I probably would have thrown some action on 52. But now at 56, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
So you need like
But
a
it's coming.
31-28 game, 31-27, somewhere in that range. I still lean to the over. But my play here is I'm solidly on Minnesota. And we talked about this earlier. I don't like the fact Dan Campbell played all the starters Monday night. Short week, long trip back from the West Coast. They don't practice Monday or Tuesday. The defense has been awful, and I think as a Lions fan, you would admit that.
It's been at best serviceable. They've made a handful of plays where they need to make plays.
Yeah, but when you give up, what did they give up to the Niners last week in a meaningless game? 37?
Yeah, but they gave that up early, and then they
They were down at half and they came back.
held it together. This is where the problem becomes. It's not now all of a sudden this staunch defense.
My other thing is, you battle all year long in the trenches and the warfare that is the NFL. You get to week 18 here for the battle for the number one pick or number one seed. And if you lose, this is going to be absolutely demoralizing to either team. And now you're stuck at the 5 seed and having to go on the road for the entire playoffs. Whether you open up at Tampa, if they win, or Atlanta, or you open up at the Rams.
At the Rams, yeah.
And it just sucks. So, I don't know. My lean would definitely, an early lean is Vikings +3 and Vikings money line. And I know you said you didn't play on it. And that's okay.
Take them and be disappointed.
So let's talk about, there's very few games that mean a hill of beans this week. There's a few. We'll talk local here. We'll talk our Buccaneers with a chance to win a division. Win the game,
Yes.
you're in. And forget the Falcons. And big tip of the cap to the Commanders for helping the local Tampa people out. So the Bucs are basically still in it. I don't think any team wants to come here and play the Buccaneers in the first round of the playoffs. Not the way this offense is clicking.
Depends on which Baker you give me. If I get the ho-hum Baker that makes several mistakes, yeah, I got no problem playing
I think he gets bumped for big games, but he lives for this.
But if I got big time Baker, I don't want no part of that.
Hell no.
And I'm talking that from the Lions because of their 2 losses this season.
Yeah, they lost to the
One of
Bills
them's
and
to
they lost
Tampa.
to the Tampa, yeah.
Now, I don't think Tampa wants any smoke.
I want no part of the spread at -14. Do the Bucs cover that against a mail it in? I mean, pack your bags and let's go to
Spencer
Cancun,
Rattler.
New Orleans Saints team in a week. But I still don't want to lay 14. Because I think if the Bucks get up big, let's say they're up 24-3 at half,
Rest them all.
rest them all, and then you allow Spencer Ratliff to come down the field and just throw the ball around. But the Saints have no talent. Come on. You look, they got a goose egg a couple weeks ago against the Packers, and at home last week against the Raiders, they get 10 points. I see no way they come into Tampa and make it competitive. I think the Bucks should cover it, but I'm not willing to lay 14. I have more interest in the total at 43.5 right now. So let's say New Orleans scores 10 points. Can the Bucks put up 34? I tend to believe so. So I'd be more inclined to bet the total over than.
That's a tall order. I mean, I know we're trying to get Mike Evans his.
He needs 85 yards to go 11 consecutive years of 1,000 yards.
But 34 for Tampa is
It's feasible.
feasible, but
It's not a good New Orleans defense.
you're running away with it.
So obviously the Bucks somehow lose that game. Well, shame on them, and the Falcons win. Then the Falcons win the division. I don't see that scenario playing through. Do you?
No.
I just think the Bucks win this and just go on to the playoffs for a 5th straight year.
I mean, do I see the Falcons beating Carolina? Yes.
But I don't see
Do
the
I
Bucks
see
losing
Tampa
to the Saints.
losing to the Saints? No.
I agree.
Yeah. Bucks win.
So that gave me something. And what's weird, and we discussed this earlier, so here you have Tampa that right now sits in the 4 seed, and the Rams are sitting at the 3 seed. The Rams are at home against Seattle in a game that means nothing. The Rams are in. They can't lose the division. But if Tampa wins and the Rams lose, then Tampa would jump them for the 3 seed, where you avoid playing the loser of Detroit, Minnesota at home, and you probably get Washington as long as Washington holds serve and beats the Cowboys. I think I'd rather, if I'm the Bucks, have that matchup than have to face Minnesota or Detroit. What do you think?
This is where I'm going to go a little bit back. If I am the Rams and I have Stafford and I've dealt with Cup, Puka.
Yep.
How many guys?
Tyron
were
Williams
injured?
and all that. Yeah, I know.
How many guys were injured? Sit them.
Well, they're resting everybody.
And I'll see you next week.
Sean McVay has come out and said they're resting everybody.
And I agree with Sean McVay for doing that.
Jimmy Garoppolo is starting at quarterback. Now, if you look at the line in this game, and I'm going to bring up a couple interesting points. This game opened at the Rams -2. And
it's
then when
moved.
McVay comes out and says, okay, we're going to rest everybody, it jumped to Seattle -6.5. At this point of the year, with Seattle with nothing to play for, should they be a 6.5 favorite on the road? I don't think so.
They're all playing for incentives.
Well, here you brought up my next point, Dave. So take somebody like Geno Smith. Geno Smith has 3 incentives to play for, each one worth a $2 million kicker. If Seattle wins and they get to 10 wins, Geno gets a $2 million kicker.
Yeah.
If he throws for more than 186 yards, he gets a $2 million kicker. And if his completion percentage finishes at the highest point of his career, which he's in realm right now, he gets a $2 million kicker. That's a $6 million bonus for Geno Smith.
Yeah. Guess who's playing?
Oh, every starter.
Yeah. Every single one of them's playing. And why does Sean McVay not want it? Why does he want to rest his guys? Because this guy's playing for $6 million. They're going to come out, get ready for the playoffs. I agree with McVay sitting them. I'll take Seattle in points all day long.
If it gets to 7, I'll take the Rams. But if it sits at 6.5 where it is right now, I'm not playing the game. I just don't trust Seattle. I don't trust them with. I just don't trust Geno Smith. I don't think he's that good. But it looks like Notre Dame has won, so Notre Dame will advance to play Penn State probably next Friday. And I think that's in the Orange Bowl, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl next week. Other games that mean a hill of beans, the Steelers on Saturday play the Bengals. I don't get this line, Dave. I don't get it. I know Cincinnati's playing for their playoff lives, but they don't control their own destiny. The Colts helped last week by losing. They're out. The Bengals would need.
Denver to lose.
I don't get this in the scheduling either. They try to play all these games at the same time. So the Broncos are playing 4 o'clock Sunday. They have to lose. The Dolphins are playing with no Tua against the Jets. They have to lose. And if the Bengals win, then they would be in.
Right.
Steelers open up as a 1.5 favorite at home. This game still means a lot to the Steelers. If the Steelers win and somehow by a chance of God the Ravens lose to the Browns, Steelers go in the division. But the Steelers, if they win, stay in the 5 seed and go to Houston for round 1. If they lose and the Chargers beat the Raiders, the Chargers jump them and the Steelers fall back to 6 and have to go to Baltimore opening weekend of the playoffs. Well, I know it's your division rival, and I don't want to go to Baltimore week 1. And I'm saying this as a Steelers fan. I'm going to Houston, who's been playing garbage over the past couple of weeks.
I'm saying there's not a lot of people that want to go to Baltimore, want to go to Minnesota,
Correct.
want to go to Detroit,
Correct.
want to go to. I'll happily take Houston out of any playoff
I
scenario.
100%. So that makes me lean to the Steelers big time here, plus 1.5. I don't know what you think about the line.
I think the line's fair. Something about Joe Burrow's late season magic
Yeah, but
has
the
me
Steelers went into Cincinnati and beat them in a shootout, 41-38 last time.
100%. But we're still talking Russell Wilson and Justin Fields.
And I think we see more of Justin Fields this week than we do Wilson.
As I say, that would be my caveat, because Wilson has shown me flash in the pan.
Past 3
it's
weeks
still-
has been awful. 170 yards passing a game. I mean, it's garbage. Key turnovers.
But Joey can put it up. So that 1.5, I'm gonna lean on the Bengals to. I'll take the Bengals in it. No smoke against Pittsburgh or anything else. I just think Joe Burrow is playing lights out. MVP quality ball.
Oh, the second half of the year he's been amazing.
So
So is Jamar Chase too.
100%, yeah.
I lean the Steelers 1.5 here. It's actually a play for me. And what I like even more is taking the Steelers in a teaser and make them plus 7.5. And you can put them with anybody else you want. I don't care if you wheel the entire field. You're probably pretty good. But we talk about the Ravens. The Ravens open up against the Browns as an 18-point favorite. Is there anything that would make you want to lay 18 points in a probably more than meaningless game?
In an NFL divisional game, not at all.
And they're minus 1,500 on the money line. There's no way I'm not laying either. It's just it's not worth the risk. Is not worth the reward. But here's something I like, and tell me what you think of this. The Steelers win on Sunday, and I think they do, but at plus 1.5. The Charger game becomes meaningless on Sunday. What if you put in open-ended parlay and you parlayed them with the Raiders getting points against the Chargers, or parlayed them with Denver, who needs the game? I mean, there's just different ways you can go with this. Personally, a play for me right now would be Kansas City this week getting 10.5 at Denver. I don't think Denver's that good to beat. I know Kansas City's resting. It's Carson Wentz, and they're going to rest receivers and players like that.
They're resting everybody.
I'll take that team plus 10.5 on the road. Or if I tease them, I get them plus 16.5. Why the hell not? Do you see Denver beating Kansas City by more than 2 touchdowns? Or 13 points?
It depends on what Sean McVay wants to do. Do you want to?
You mean Sean Payton?
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah.
Sean Payton. Do you want to gas your boys up? All right, we can beat a rival, beat a this. Let's get going.
If the Broncos win, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Cut and dry. Win and you're in.
100%. But how much gas you want to put behind it?
I want to win the damn game.
I
I'm playing all my starters. This is a win and in.
Yeah. But this is also Dan. This is where I get to the Dan Campbell versus Kevin O'Connell. Sean Payton. you want to gas your boys? You want to? Let's go. Everybody's playing. Foot
I
on the
agree.
gas pedal till
I
it's
agree.
over.
Everybody's
I
playing.
I can see Sean Payton doing that
They have to.
to move forward.
I feel like a playoff appearance to a young team like this,
It's huge.
it's massive. Bo Nix in his rookie year has surpassed everybody's expectations, and I think
Not
that's
mine.
fair enough. Well, you were pretty high on him to start the year. I got to give you that.
But
I'll tip my cap to you.
I have him in a couple fantasy football leagues, and he has.
But
he's
they would
done
open as the 7th seed and have to go to Buffalo. I don't think they can go to win in Buffalo, but we'll get into that next week when we know the.
well. Yeah.
matchups.
Does Buffalo actually have a defense? We're not even sure.
Yeah, that's to be determined. But there aren't many more meaningful games. The Washington game means something to them against Dallas. They have to go.
The lines look like trash across the board. I had them up here a second ago.
There aren't many games that I'm interested in betting. I'll say for myself, for my NFL picks, I'm on the Steelers. I'll take the 1.5. I'm also going to tease the Steelers. And depending on scenarios of what comes Sunday, I may hook them up with the Chiefs plus 16.5 or possibly the Raiders in what could be a meaningless game for the Chargers that Herbert and Dobbins and McConkey and Bosa and James and Mack never see the field.
Yeah,
possibility.
the bulk of these games don't matter to anybody.
They're garbage. They matter for incentives for people.
I mean, I'll say this: if I were to start some random parlays with some flexes, do I take the Patriots over the Bills?
Well, Drake May is playing,
Drake May is playing. Josh Allen's not.
so Mitch
Good.
Trubisky gets the start in Buffalo.
Just throw a little incentive. New England doesn't seem to be the team that's like we're going to play for a draft pick.
They got the number 1 pick right now. So I don't think there's any incentive for them to win. You don't want to give up. I look at it, there's about 5 trash organizations in the NFL. And I hate to say it, I know they were the cream of the crop earlier, years ago, with Kraft and Brady. The Patriots are in that toilet bowl right now. The Raiders are in that toilet bowl. The Bears are in that toilet bowl. The Giants and the Jets are in there. I would put Carolina in there, but Carolina's been playing better and playing with heart.
Well, yeah, Carolina's playing spoiler because otherwise GM and ownership are going
But that and the Browns. So there's 6 franchises right there that are in the shitty toilet bowl of franchises in the NFL. But do the Patriots come out and play with heart? Maybe. But what's the incentive for them to win when you have the number 1 pick right now? I just don't see it.
Because you don't need it because you got Drake May.
Yeah, but if you own the number 1 pick, then you can trade down for teams that are desperate in what I don't see as a great quarterback draft. And anybody that wants Shakur Sanders or Cam Ward or something like that, yeah, come on, trade up.
No, they're already in the running for him.
Yeah, but-
Oakland wants Shakur Sanders.
Oh, I know. They don't want Cam Ward. Cam Ward quit on that Miami football team.
Nobody
in that stupid
wants
bowl
Cam
game.
Ward.
To me, he's Jamarcus Russell Part 2, and that's why the Raiders want no part of him.
Jamarcus was.
Well, when I see something what Cam Ward did when they asked him to
Jamarcus
go out in the field in the 3rd quarter, he's like, nah, I got my record. I'm good. I'm staying out. Like, you quit on your team. Screw you. You're a piece of shit. I hope you fall to a 4th-round pick. But I'll get off my soapbox. So anyways, I'm on the Steelers. I'm on the over in the Buccaneers game, and I don't love it, but I got to make 3 picks. Could the Bucs put up 34-35? Now we got to count on the Saints for 10. And maybe we get a garbage 10 points, but I got to make 3 picks. So I'll take over 43 in the Bucs game. I will put the Chiefs plus 16 or plus 16.5 in a teaser with the Steelers. But as far as a 3rd pick, I can't bet the Dolphins with Snoop Hundley playing because Tua's out. You know, Aaron Rodgers is trying to throw his 500th career touchdown. And supposedly Devontae Adams wants to play because I want to catch that from him.
Sure. Whole lot of handshakes.
So I'm going to say screw it. And I'm going to take, for the purposes of our third pick, I'll take the Ravens minus 18. Browns have no heart. They're dead. The Ravens don't have to play their A game, B game. Maybe if they show up with their C game, they win 27-3. Dave, what do you got this week in the NFL?
1, 2, 3. I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna go. I'll take the Washington Commanders just to wrap this NFL season, because I believe I said my random dark horse seventh.
You
seed
did. I know. I'll let you two run on here, man. You called
will
it.
go in. So I'll take 3.5 on Dallas. Dallas is trash.
So you're gonna lay the 3.5.
Yeah, lay the 3.5. Give me Washington, because they can't hurt themselves, but they can still kind of hurt themselves. And
Well, I don't think they want to fall to the 7th seed if the Packers win.
Exactly.
Because then they have to go play Philadelphia, division rival, and I think they match up better with Tampa or the Rams. So we'll see. All right, who's pick 2?
Pick 2. Rough and tumble. Give me the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh playing hardball.
I gotta say, that was another call of yours at the beginning of the year.
4.5 on the Raiders. Yeah, you give me 4.5. They're on the road, and the Raiders want to secure Shador. So 4.5 points. Chargers can run that rock on them.
I agree, but if there's no Dobbins and there's no Gus Edwards, and the Steelers win Saturday, it's a meaningless game, and I think the Raiders can hang with them.
There's nothing meaningless in football to Jim Harbaugh.
I'm not going to deny that. He's an animal.
They're coming out and playing.
And I will give you credit on that as well with your call for San Diego to be a playoff team this year. Because I vehemently said no. I thought they'd win 7 games. So I was wrong there. Doesn't happen often, people, but every once in a while I am wrong.
I said I won't say it, but I will say it. Fuck the 3. I ain't worried about the 3.
Who?
I'll take the Lions.
Okay.
Ain't nobody want to walk into Ford Field for that smoke. It will be the loudest, most raucous situation.
I'm glad we have a meaningful Sunday night game in Week 18. And this is for all the marbles. You can't ask for any more meaningful than this.
This is it.
So
It's a bye and home field advantage.
Correct.
And. But as much as our defense sucks, they can fight. Sorry.
So you're thinking this is going to be like a 43-40 game?
No, I think it'll very much be very similar to the Kansas City Rams game from several years ago, where it's actually like we expect all the offenses to do all
And
this.
it's a defensive fucking slugfest.
But the slugfest is pick sixes and fumble recoveries. So now all of a sudden it's a 43-40 game,
yeah.
but it's, a pick six, and it ends up, I'll take the over.
So you're on over 56.
I'm on over 56.
So you've got the Chargers minus 4.5, the Skins minus 3.5, the Lions minus 3, and over 56.
Oh yeah, overall day.
Okay, I'm on Steelers plus 1.5. I threw the Ravens in. I don't love them. I'll lay the 18. And I took over 43 in the Tampa game. And I'm going in on, I told you my teaser with the Steelers and whatever other game you like. And I'm going to take the Vikings plus 3. And I'm going to take the Vikings money line as well. And it may come back to burn me. But hey, I'm plus money all year. And I got a little extra cash to burn, so why not? But all I can say is you've got our picks. Thank you for joining us for the show as always. Big weekend this week, and it sets up for the playoffs next week. We will be back with you next Wednesday for the show. where we will preview all 6 games for Super Wild Card Weekend. Guys, bet with your head, not over it. Manage that money on the bankroll. Don't give away your Christmas and New Year's cash or whatever. Don't let the book have it. And let's go into 2025 with a profitable last week, and let's head towards the playoffs. Hit the subscribe, the like, the follow, all that good stuff, man. We're growing the channel. We've picked up almost 50 subscribers in the last 2.5 months, almost 3 months. So we're getting there. Florida Gambling Boys will be live in Reno February 6th through the 11th. We'll be out there for the Super Bowl. We are going to live stream out there, some table games, some slots, in the sports book. So we got a lot of good content coming up for 2025 as we try to make this our year. And merchandise is in the process. So you'll see Dave sporting it, me sporting it, Brandon sporting it, Tom sporting it. Hopefully in the next month we get that going. So a lot of good things coming in 2025. Super Dave Kreitz, I thank you as always. Happy New Year, my friend. Good luck on Sunday to your Lions. Thank you to all of you who tuned in tonight. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday. Florida Gambling Boys on YouTube. It's the Football Frenzy. Everybody have a safe, happy, healthy New Year.